Okay, this is final review number 3, solving systems of linear equations using elimination. You are looking for the solution for 2 equations, and as you know from graphing, that solution is the point of intersection where the point will lie on both lines. And so what you need when you use an elimination is a pair of opposites to get started with. So x and x are not opposites. However, y and negative y are opposites. So this is a nice simple one. Elimination is sometimes called combinations because you combine a pair of opposites that then eliminate one another. So x and x is 2x. Y and negative y, or 1y and negative 1y are nothing. And then negative 1 and 9 are 8. Then you just simply solve for x. You divide, and again, you're combining, so you're adding. Divide both sides by 2 to isolate the x. So this is the division property of equality. X equals 4. So you know for your solution that your x coordinate is going to be 4, and now you have to find y. So that's your next step, is to find y. And in this problem, it's quite simple. So you're going to pick one of the problems. I'm going to pick the one with the addition. So x is 4. So we go x plus y equals negative 4. So x is 4 plus y equals negative 1. We are going to subtract 4 from both sides using the subtraction property of equality, and y is going to equal negative 5. And so it's okay to circle these two, but those are not your answers. Your answer is 4, negative 5, which is the ordered pair where the 2 lines intersect. Okay, I'm going to have you go ahead and try this one. This one's another very, very simple one, except that you're going to see that one of them is not a pair of opposites, and you're going to have to multiply through by a number to get that pair of opposites. So I'll put that up, and then I'm going to ask you to solve it, and then you'll turn the recording back on and check it. Okay, so your next example, letter B, is negative x plus y equals negative 7. And your second equation is 2x plus y equals 5. You are again using elimination or combinations to solve, to find the ordered pair that will be your solution. When you are finished, go ahead and turn the recording back on and check your answer. Okay, so it's negative 1. You're going to multiply through by negative 1, which is going to give you x minus y equaling 7. And then bring down your 2x plus y equaling 5. You're going to combine these, use addition to eliminate. The y's will eliminate, negative 1y and y eliminate. So you have 3x equaling 12. Divide both sides by 3 using the division property of equality, and x equals 4. Now we're going to have to find y, because that's the missing coordinate. You can plug into either one. I would prefer to plug into the second one, the 2x, because it's positive. So it's going to be 2 times 4 plus y equals 5. 8 plus y equals 5. Subtraction property of equality. Subtract 8 from both sides to isolate y. Y equals negative 3. So the ordered pair is 4, negative 3. It's fine if you circle these, but do make sure you write your solution as an ordered pair. Okay, let's go on to one more example, then you're going to do 2 on your own. Okay, letter C is 2x plus 3y equals 4. That's one equation. The other equation is x plus 2y equals 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to first of all have to get a pair of opposites. 2x and x are not, 3y and 2y are not, and neither are 4 and 1. Now, the x would be the easy one to do, but I want to make sure that you understand what you do when you have to multiply both of them by an amount. So I'm going to multiply the first one. I'm going to make these y's be opposite. So I'm going to multiply this by 2, and then I'm going to multiply the second one by negative 3. And let me show you what happens when I do that. So going back to the first one, 2 times 2x is 4x, 2 times 3y is 6y, and 2 times 4 is 8. Now again, I know that it would have been easier to do the 2x and the x, but I want to show you how to do these. So then we go negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times 2y is negative 6y. Or you could put minus 6y. Oops, hang on. We don't have a y on that one. Okay, coming back, and then we've got negative 3 times 1 equals negative 3. Now we're going to have opposites. The 6y and negative 6y are opposites. And so we end up with 4x and negative 3x is x or 1x. 8 minus 3 or 8 and negative 3 is 5. 1x is equal to x, so x equals 5. So the first x coordinate is 5. You need to find the y, so your solution is going to be 5 something. And we don't know the y, so we're going to find y. You can plug it back into whatever one you wish. Personally, and you go back into the original. That's one thing you do need to do. Personally, I think the easiest is to plug it into the second one. So x is 5. There's your x. So x plus 2y. 5 plus 2y equals 1. I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides using the subtraction property of equality. 2y equals negative 4. I'm going to divide both sides by 2 using the division property of equality, and y equals negative 2. So don't just leave it as x and y. It's an ordered pair because it is the point of intersection of these two equations. So your ordered pair solution, the point of intersection, is 5, negative 2. Again, do not forget, solution is the point of intersection. That's why it has to be an ordered pair of these two lines. Okay, I'd like you to try these two letters D and E. I'd like you to try these two systems of equations, and then I'd like you to turn it back on and check it when you are finished. Okay, these are your two problems that you'll do on your own. So you'll have 3 all together on your assignment, but if you wrote down the examples, then you'll have 5 all together. You must write down the 3 because you're going to be turning this assignment in. Okay, and letter D is 3x minus y equals 5, and 4x plus 2y equals 10. On letter E, it's 2x minus 3y equals 6, and 4x minus 5y equals 8. Again, when you're finished, go ahead and turn it back on, hear how it was solved, check your answers, and then you'll know if you're doing this correctly for the final or not. Okay, for 3x minus y equals 5 and 4x plus 2y equals 10, it's best if you can make opposites out of the negative y and the 2y, so you multiply all the terms in the first equation through by 2. 3x times 2 is 6x, negative y times 2 is negative 2y, 5 times 2 is 10. So 6x minus 2y equals 10 is the equivalent equation. Bring down your 4x plus 2y equals 10. You end up with 10x. 4x and 6x is 10x. These become 0, and 10 is 20. Divide both sides by 10, and you end up with x equaling 2. So your x coordinate is 2 for your solution. Now you need to find y. I went ahead and plugged into the first equation, 3x minus y equals 5. So 3 times 2 minus y equals 5. 6 minus y equals 5. I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. Negative y equals negative 1. Now this is important. Some of you make this mistake. Negative y has to become y by dividing by negative 1 on both sides. And y then equals negative 1 divided by negative 1 is 1. So your y coordinate is 1. The ordered pair, the point of intersection is 2, 1. Okay, now looking at letter E, 2x minus 3y equals 6, and 4x minus 5y equals 8. The easiest pair of opposites would be to make this negative 4x. So we're going to multiply through by a negative 2. Negative 2 and 2x is negative 4x. Negative 2 and negative 3y is positive 6y. Negative 2 and 6 is negative 12. Bring down your 4x minus 5y equals 8. And then you put them together. Negative 4x and 4x are 0. 6y minus 5y is y, negative 12, and 8 is negative 4. So that is your y coordinate. Now this time, since we found the y coordinate, we have to find x. I picked the first equation, 2x minus 3y equals 6, to substitute the y into. So it's 2x minus 3 times, the y value is negative 4, equals 6. We've got a negative 3 and a negative 4 is a positive 12, so 2x plus 12 equals 6. Subtract 12 from both sides. 2x equals negative 6. 6 and negative 12 is negative 6. Divide both sides by 2 with the division property of equality. X equals negative 3. So you have the ordered pair, negative 3, negative 4. Again, make sure on the assignment that you're turning in that you have letter B, D, and E. If you want to have A and C as well, that would be great, but you don't have to. Okay, we're going to do two solving of equation problems, a little bit just to remind you. So we're going to have one that I show you and then one that you do. Okay, so you've got 4 times in parentheses x plus 2 minus 5 equals 3x plus 1. You always do distributive property first, so it's 4 times x, 4x, 4 times 2 is 8, minus 5 equals 3x plus 4. Okay, we're continuing simplifying because we need to, after we use the distributive property, we combine like terms. 8 minus 5 is a like term, so 4x plus 3 equals 3x plus 4. Then we collect variables on the same side, attempting to keep the coefficient positive, so it's going to be better if we subtract 3x from both sides. And we'll end up with x plus 3 equaling 4. And then it's just a matter of solving using the properties of equality. We're going to subtract 3 from both sides, and x is going to equal 1. Okay, I'm going to have you do letter G. We're just going to practice a little bit of solving equations as we go here. And so once you've solved it, I want you to turn the recording back on and check it. Okay, letter G is 3 times in parentheses x minus 4 plus 2 equals 5x minus 8. Please be aware that you're going to need to do simplification steps, distributive property first, then combining like terms. And then you need to use the properties of equality. Please show all your steps, just as I did in letter F. You're going to show it in G. And please be aware that you may not always get an integer value for your answer. X may not equal a number like 1. It may be a fractional amount. Please do not convert it to decimals, however. So after you've solved it, turn on the recording again and see how you did. Okay, distributive property first. 3 times x, 3x. 3 times negative 4, negative 12. Or minus 12 plus 2 equals 5x minus 8. Now the step in blue you may or may not need. We're going to use the additive in first, or add the opposite. 3x plus 12 goes to its opposite of negative 12. Plus 2 equals 5x minus 8. Keeping your coefficient positive, actually first we have to do combining like terms. So negative 12 and 2 are combining like terms, which gives you negative 10. So 3x plus negative 10, or 3x minus 10 equals 5x minus 8. Try to keep your coefficient with the x positive, so we're going to subtract 3x from both sides. 3x and negative 3x is nothing. You're left with negative 10. 5x and negative 3x is 2x. And then minus 8. Using the addition property of equality, add 8 to both sides. We're left with 2x equaling negative 2. Using the division property of equality, divide both sides by 2. Negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. 2x divided by 2 is x. You have correctly solved. Please make sure you can have F2, but you need to at a minimum have G. So when I collect the review, number 3 review, final review, I expect that there will be 4 problems on it. Letter B, letter D, letter E, and letter G. If you want to have the examples, that's fine as well. Go back and watch all or part of this if you are struggling with any of these parts.